7 years ago, Plano author Bob Beaudine told Fox 4 viewers that they already knew everybody they needed to know. His book, The Power of Who's premise was networking is crap. That's a specific quote. Bob, you sit next to me. Life is about deep friendships and relationships, not fake social media acquaintances. If you're in trouble, you need a job, you should turn to your friends and family, not Facebook. Bob Beaudine is back tonight to talk about a bigger relationship opportunity, one with God. His book, 2 Chairs, went on sale today. Correct? Today. Congratulations. Bob's president and CEO of sports entertainment executive search firm Eastman Beaudine, one of the top in the country. All right, Bob, The Power of Who was kind of in your sweet spot, business relationships. This 2 Chairs is about relationships with God. Tell me about how they're connected or how you went from one to the other.
You know, when I wrote The Power of Who, it kind of touched a nerve with everyone all over the country. It seemed like they had lots of friendships, but no friends. And so in business, it seemed to be even exacerbated because you're not allowed to have friends in business. So let me get this correct. You're supposed to work with people you don't know and don't trust. Yeah. And so when people were out trying to find some goals and dreams, they did a thing called networking. Not working.
All right, so tell me about 2 Chairs, the idea and the questions that you want to ask about it.
Yeah, so what happens when trouble isn't just a job? What happens when people are really hurting? There's a death in the family, there's a divorce. Your current circumstances kind of disqualify you from your dream. You know, today people are hurting. They almost are hopeless. And so what I did, you know, was when I was hurting, I went and talked to my mom. Moms are just amazing, aren't they? Yeah. And so my mom, you know, when I asked her, she asked me like 3 questions and said, when I was talking about how I was gonna find my dream, what would I do in times of trouble, how would I find a mate? My mom looked at me and kind of said, I don't have those answers, but I know who does. And so she said to me, hey, can I ask you 3 questions? I said, sure. She says, does God know your situation? That kind of startled me. And I said, yes.
I think so.
I think so. But most people think that God only has like 6 telephone lines for like 7 billion people. He only works on ISIS, heart attacks, and natural disasters. And I'm not really a good person. So then she asked, hey, is this too hard for him to handle? And I said, no. But she said it's too hard for you to handle. And then she asked me kind of the tough question. Does he have a good plan for you? I said, yes. She said, what is it? I don't know. She said 2 chairs. She said, what if you set up 2 chairs tomorrow morning at your house, at your apartment? She said, what if God would actually meet there with you? And I said, gee, you know, Mom, I kind of pray. I talk to God. And she goes, this is different, Bob. She says, you know, most people, what they do is they actually talk to God, but they don't expect an answer, Steve. They don't think he's going to talk back, but he will.
And so you do this. You literally set out 2 chairs and you go into the morning and have a cup of coffee and you...
Yeah, so listen, how you start your day matters. A lot of people, what are they going to do? They get their coffee, they're running, they're rushing, they're taking their problems of the day with them. They're overwhelmed. They don't know how to make an exchange in the morning. We need to exchange our troubles to God. God asked you to give them to him, and he cares for you. God actually will talk to you. I have a chair for him. I have one for me. Don't sit in his chair.
There's skeptics. Come on, people out here saying, come on.
Yeah, so, you know, if I tell people if you're in a gurney and you're going to a hospital, you know, you're not thinking about rehab programs and prescription plans. You know what you're saying? God, please help me. So today, listen, there are people who are believers, there are people who are seekers, there are people today who are skeptics. But when I ask them this question, if there's a 1% chance that God would meet you tomorrow at your 2 chairs, would you go? They always say yes.
You're not a pastor. You're not a bishop. You're not a rabbi. Why you? Why this book?
You know, I think it's time, as an executive search executive, I get all these people who are looking for jobs. They're looking for the power of Bob. There is none. The answer is there's some problems that are just overwhelming. We're just not capable. How do I express the inexpressible? That God wants to talk to you. He has some plans for us in our day. He'd like to share it with you. We have nothing to lose here, but everything to gain.
I want to we were in a coffee shop the other day, and we were talking, and I was noticing as we were talking, people could hear us, and it sort of made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. We are used to commercials on TV about erectile dysfunction, but talking about God feels awkward, right?
Oh, it's 100% awkward, and the world makes us feel that way more, but it's not supposed to be that way. We're actually supposed to have a God who cares for us, who loves us, and he does. The question is, Are you going to let him talk? If I brought Warren Buffett to your house for 5-10 minutes every morning and talk about your investment advice, would that be good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, would you speak the whole time?
Come in.
Would you speak the whole time? No. This is God. He created you. He knows everything about you. Listen, we have no choices anymore. Our world is so hurt, so in trouble. The answer today is this. Set up your 2 chairs. Don't mess around. Get up in the morning early. Get your cup of coffee and go sit down. And then you get 1 minute to talk. He gets 4. You get 2, he gets 8, and I can promise you, you'll hear him. He promises our sheep, they what? They know his voice.
All right. That's a challenge right there. The book is 2 Chairs everywhere today, right?
Everywhere.
Bob Beaudine, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.